Everybody knows that I'm breaking down. Everybody knows I ain't faking now. Everybody knows my heart's vacant now. Yeah, she hates me now, I made mistakes, but now I don't ever wanna be alone. I don't really ever feel at home. On my own, in the zone, that's the only way I know. Feeling low, about to blow back up. Here I won't ever let the doubt creep in. Gotta pop a couple more aspirin. I don't think I'll ever let you in. Easier to break it off as friends. I don't really understand myself. I don't really understand, need help. I don't wanna be left on the shelf. Couldn't even hear me if I yelled. It's so cold outside, I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside, I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold. Break down, always feel like I could break now, but I never let it.
Hello guys, welcome back to a new video, new recorder. Hopefully this one will work out better than the last, since the past two videos are now me having to re-record them and whatever, basically no audio. So without further ado, let's get started on the new part of what if Gogeta took the place of Goku and what if Vegeto took the place of Vegeta. I'm sorry, what if Gogeta took the place of Goku and what if Vegeto took the place of Vegeta? Man, I had to get my voice hyped there. I'm always hyped for this. Whatever, let's get into the what if. Oh, and of course, before we start, don't forget to, of course, like, comment, and subscribe. And without further ado, shall we get started? You can't see me, but I'm always taking a bow when I say that. Anyways, let's get straight into it. Alright, Piccolo and Goku's training would basically start off much better than their canon training, with Goku actually being able to start training with Piccolo immediately, like as soon as probably a day, as soon as they drop down on the site, since he would already know the basics of fighting, so no survival training, and so the two get to training. And Goku, say the least, Goku base would surpass Piccolo thanks to Zenkai's, so that's great for him and his high potential. However, and that's about all. Moving on to, also he makes Piccolo stronger, obviously. Anyways, continuing on. Kami, since the Saiyans have a much bigger threat in this timeline, and also have a transformation, would let the humans train in the time chamber. Okay, I'm gonna act like what I just accidentally did something. So I'm back to this point right here. Sorry if I repeat myself. Kami will let the humans train in the time chamber since the Saiyans are much more of a bigger threat, especially with that transformation that they think they have since Raditz had it, Ikari. And so the humans get to train in the time chamber in this timeline, meaning that they get stronger, and since the humans don't consume nearly as much food as regular Saiyans, they get to stay in there actually for a good few months. There's still the mental stuff and fire and ice, and the part of, not going insane. So let's continue on. Alright, Gogeta being able to make it to King Kai's planet much faster in this timeline would actually be able to strengthen his Kaioken to a ×10. So they basically get to do King Kai's training much earlier and take less time to adapt to the gravity. So we continue on with them. So on to everyone's power levels. Gogeta's power level in base is 35,000, also 350,000 with Ikari, just to let you know. Goku and Piccolo's power level are 30,000 and 28,000 respectively, with Piccolo 280,000 when going Omega. I believe I'm calculating that 10 times right? And the humans lagging far behind, not that far behind or far behind, with Krillin starting at being the strongest at 24,000, Tien 22,500, Chaozu 10,000, and Yamcha 18,000. Moving on, also get Saiyans will get an increase through the time from training before Raditz, during the time when Raditz leaves to the get Gogeta. Obviously that failed, meaning they get higher power levels themselves with 40,000 and 30,000. So let's continue on. The two do arrive in the same city. Vegeta and Nappa did a cannon and basically blow it to smithereens. I mean nothingness. Just let it obliterate the entire city. And the two do arrive where all the Z fighters are, well, minus Gogeta, and would use their scout to detect everyone's power levels. Their power levels being much higher than in canon, obviously much higher than Cyberman. They, even when the humans are suppressing themselves, they will now put more key into the seeds he used to plant the Cyberman. And so would this wouldn't be a Cyberman, but a Cyber King with a power level of 28,000. Of course, the Cyber King would, not of course, the Cyber King would charge to start fighting the humans, and that fight goes about the same stuff as in canon, with the Cyber King easily taking them on alone. However, their teamwork would allow them to hold off the Cybermen, not hold off, but fight back against it, or no, even on par with it, and with a destructible disc, Krillin would be able to slice the thing in half and kill it, since this thing doesn't have regeneration. Meanwhile, Goku and Piccolo, base Piccolo, to be exact, will be taking on Nappa and holding their own pretty well, actually fighting them together. Well, basically both sides will be even and fighting each other, neither having the edge. However, once the rest of the humans join in, and Chaozu, who said they, but never mind. They will also basically gang up on Nappa like in canon, which would start to overwhelm him, which would cause him to turn Ikari and begin battling the humans, and actually throwing them around like he did in canon with the ones at the original time. Well, Goku and Piccolo aren't humans, and you get what I mean. Piccolo will turn Omega, he's turning his power level to 280,000, as I said before. However, Nappa would still be higher than this and would decide to divide and conquer like a Zadora, I think I called him in the last part, and would kill kill the weaker humans, that being Tien, Yamcha, and Chaozu, with ease. But if you want me to go into more detail, let's see here. Nappa breaks Tien's neck, actually rips his head off, puts his hand through Yamcha's chest and blasts him to smithereens, and Chaozu tries to use explosion, but Nappa survives. Great, moving on. Okay, another change is during that one moment when Nappa is free falling through the air, although I wouldn't understand since people can fly. Goku would shoot a very powerful Mustang Kamehameha, shooting into Nappa, which would cause an explosion. However, this would only damage Nappa's armor, since Nappa would be much stronger than Goku. And so now Poe would decide to still launch that attack towards Goku. I believe it was the Bomber DXD, it was called, that he used in canon to kill. However, Omega Piccolo was standing in the way, taking the attack and being killed. As after crying a few tears, Goku would begin to get enraged as a golden aura began to come around him, as his pupils would turn white, as he would become a false Super Saiyan, or pre-Super Saiyan. False Super Saiyan is what it's called usually, and sporting a new snazzy power level of 360,000. He would begin to basically beat up Nappa, landing a punch on him, sending him through a mountain. I think these things are around him, and landing multiple attacks on him. And when Nappa would land one, it would basically do nothing. And so he would hit him with the Masen Kamehameha, which would nearly kill him, but would leave him on the ground unconscious in a near-death state. However, Goku would tire out himself from this form, draining him a bunch. And so Vegeta would go to finish him off. However, Krillin, despite being much weaker than him, would step in to try and defend him. As Vegito would, oh sorry, I forgot he would compliment Goku on his strength, but began charging up a ki blast to try and kill Krillin. However, Gogeta would swoop in and save them both, using a Kaioken times 2, cause why not? It would tell Krillin to get Goku out there, and he would oblige and would fly away with Goku. Of course, Gogeta and Vegeito take their battle to the mountain cliffs. And so the fated battle between fusions would begin. The two would of course start off base to base, with Vegeto taking the fight from there, being much stronger than him. As Gogeta would use a Kaioken, various levels of Kaioken to keep up, and sorry for that, anyways, to keep up and basically take him out. Also, not take him out, but land multiple blows on him. However, Vegeto, using the opportunities that he would be using Kaioken, would land, of course, his own attacks, and even stab him in the chest with a Keyblade, which would eventually lead up to both of them powering into Ikari and using the final Kamehameha. I will not question why Vegeto knows the Kamehameha, and Gogeta a Big Bang Kamehameha, and the two, of course, clashing attacks in a beam struggle. However, Gogeta will use a Kaioken times 10 for one final stretch that would overwhelm Vegeto's beam and, of course, hit Vegeto, which would cause him to win the fight. Or not, as Vegeto would come back, very harmed obviously. However, Gogeta be much more harmed since they used the Kaioken and Gary together, and so, and Nappa would even limp over there. However, Vegeto, enjoying the fight in this timeline, would decide to spare Gogeta. Even. However, Nappa would want to go and kill the kid. However, Vegeto would not stop him, but most likely stop him. And force him to leave with him, and so the two would leave the planet peacefully. And with that, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and hopefully this recorder worked, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and see you in the next video. Oops.